Welcome to the Fellowship Gaming live stream this afternoon. Thank you for joining us. Please look at our other social media for additional content and our Patreon to support new content. If you are new, please subscribe. Subscribe twice, 3 times, whatever you do. Give us a like. Sit back, grab a drink, a snack. Buy everything from my bookstore. And I do mean everything. For our legal fun, because we will be playing Pathfinder Society scenario, The Lions of Katapesh. Fellowship Gaming uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc. Used under Paizo's media use policy. We are expressly prohibited from charging you, the viewer, to use or access this content. Fellowship Gaming is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo, but it'd be cool if they did like us. For more information about Paizo Inc. and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.
I mean, there's no saying they don't like us. They just can't approve us. If that makes sense.
Well, they could send us free
Endorse
stuff.
us.
They could send us free stuff and we wouldn't turn them away.
No.
This is a question for the Abadarians.
But they have not sent us free stuff, so therefore.
The Serenrites, on the other hand, would be all too happy to send us free stuff. The Omadans, probably not.
They probably charge us double to get back the money they gave us.
Who?
The free stuff, the Abadars.
They wouldn't charge us double. Market value. Badarians.
Fred, as the prelude to this scenario, could you please roll a d10?
Roll a 10.
I will roll.
Because I looked at this, and if you roll a 10, you roll again. But that's the only number I remember.
I rolled a 6.
I see. You have rolled
Poorly.
It's going to be fun.
Alright. So, burlap bags are removed from your heads as you find yourselves in the meeting room of the Pathfinder Society Lodge in Katapesh. You are greeted by a older-looking goblin named Ygrig Moneymaker. He slumps in his chair. His face, normally so proud and assured, looks troubled. It's good to see you, Pathfinders. I have a lot of respect for the society. You've been both good to me in the past, and my family has aided you in return. But today, I come before you, my hat in my hand, bags over your heads, in need of help. My family and I have almost brokered a trade agreement between the cities of Solku and Nopion. It's a beneficial deal, one where Solku gains materials it needs to defend itself, Nopion gains a new trading partner, and everyone stands to make a heap of coin. There's only one issue standing in the way of the negotiation being finalized. A bridge must be constructed over the Elemion River to facilitate safe travel between the two cities. My family is responsible for building and maintaining this bridge. Should have been a simple job to pull off. It has been anything but easy. The old goblin in his 30s leans forward. Every morning at the work camp, it is discovered that more of my children have been pulled from their beds in the night, presumed dead. Every shipment of aid I send gets attacked. The last one I sent did not even arrive. There's a lot of money riding on this deal, but I admit this isn't about money anymore. This is personal. Someone is harming my family. I can't sit by and let that happen. I have contracted Pathfinder Society, who, I don't know where they found you, but they dropped you off here, to protect the bridge and surrounding work camp while construction is completed. I have a caravan ready to leave, filled with new workers and supplies for the bridge site. I want you on it. And when you see it safely to the bridge site, I need you to stop the attacks on the camp by any means necessary until the job is complete. When you get to the work camp, you'll meet my son Zig, the overseer of the project. Sweet kid. Takes after his old man. He'll be your liaison with the workers and see to your needs. Nothing is more important than family. Nothing. And so I'm asking you to take care of mine. Our future is in your hands. Any questions as your restraints are cut?
Did they notice mine are already gone? Because I have claws and probably tore through them.
Well, the goblin behind you, you notice a light shrug, and they move on to the next Pathfinder.
So, which venture captain do I have to thank for this?
What was her name? I remember she has a ship. Something about eager volunteers always ready.
Jangalai will rub his wrist and say, how long is this trip supposed to take us to get to the bridge?
So, was this ship captain a half-orc or a human?
They all look the same.
No, they don't. One is very distinctly very close to you in color.
Pretty sure they all look the same. We measure things in height down here. As for how long, should just be a few days.
I kind of wish I would have brought my ranger because it'd be funny to see him pull a burlap bag off of a bear. But I brought my level 2 rogue.
What's the compensation we're getting here?
A pat on the back.
Usual stuff from the society.
A pat on the back.
We take your treasure, grind it up, and give you gold.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's better than the freaking bag on my head.
Oh, I fully intend to repay the bag over the head.
As do I.
That's nothing new for me. A lot of the time, a lot of my deals have bags.
You're into that, are you?
Sounds like you need some new trading partners.
Hey Fred, can you get one of the blank notebooks?
Sure. Well, it's mostly blank.
It's blank enough.
It's blankety blank. Anyways.
Let's see. If you'll just sign away your rights so we know which mission you went on and whether you came back or not. That's a sign up sheet because I forgot. You think you're prepared just because you read the scenario a few times. No, it just shows how out of practice I've been. I don't think I've run the scenario in quite a long time in person. Let's see. So I got 2 and 3 ones.
Two twos, 2 ones.
2 twos, 2 ones.
Yep.
Okay.
Ten.
Okay.
Maybe I'm not adding right. Wouldn't that be 6?
Hmm?
2 twos. 2 ones.
The ones count for 2, the 2s count for 3.
Challenge points.
Challenge points.
That's how they balance.
That's
the
how they balance it.
encounters.
So
I was curious.
4 encounters were considered to be at a 10. So encounters will be slightly more difficult. Like, the big bad will probably have a few more hit points.
Yay! That's okay.
All right. Any questions?
Do you know what's attacking your camp?
Since the attacks began, information has been spotty getting out. However, I know that some sort of large animals have been attacking the work camp during the night. Something else has been aggressive towards anyone that tries to leave or enter the site, no matter what time of day. Bandits, animals, accountants, not sure.
Lawyers? Don't remember what civilization game it was, but I remember they had lawyers, and one of their abilities was to litigate against cities to interrupt trade. And they were invisible unless there was a lawyer adjacent to them. And
Very familiar.
it's one of the civilization games. I want to say 2 or 3. But anyway, I had one come to my capital city. And just in my capital city, I kept a lawyer with a squad of cavalry and marines that I'd had forever. And so when a lawyer showed up, I just attacked the lawyer.
Yeah. Good idea.
And his whole death animation was, "You're sued." I'm like, what are you going to do? You're dead. What's your city going to do? Start a war?
Grand Archive is a faction, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I think that's the one I've been using for him.
Because I was like, your city still is using, like, tanks. We have hover tanks.
Man, once you got the leg up in technology and Civ,
It was
almost
over.
game over, man. Just have to freaking go through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Still one of my all-time favorite series of games. Freaking amazing.
Anyway. Question. Any other questions? We don't actually know what's attacking. I guess we'll just have to find out when we get there.
Can I roll the dice to see if there's any questions I should be asking?
You can roll a nature check if you want.
That's not a bad idea.
Because, I mean, it did say large
No
animals.
trail, Yeah.
I can't think of anything.
How
Brilliant.
How
much
bad?
can you not think of anything, Fred?
I got a 7.
A 7. Well, you know nothing of note about the area.
No, nothing. Is it survival or nature?
Nature is what we're looking for.
I rolled a 2.
It's okay. Amazingly, that wasn't a crit fail.
I'm trying to get survival, or both of them, so nature. Yeah. I got a 10 altogether, so I beat him.
Well, it wouldn't take much.
You agree that you also know nothing about this region?
There's no reason for this to be going on, guys. There's absolutely no reason.
It could be the lingering rum that soaked your clothes, or the fact that you don't know how exactly you got here, or where here is.
I imagine Jangalang's thinking about the last show that he played at. And thinking about the crowd that was worshiping as he sang to them.
No, no, no. That's not called worship. That's called heckling.
Hey, I'll take the attention I can get. Thank you very much.
And he got free food.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds better than free food.
Yeah, the stuff they was throwing at him.
Yes, I got the reference. All right, lead us to this caravan and tell us where we are and where we're going. Oh, we're going to a river.
So we don't have to build the bridge, do we? Because, you know, I'm not into labor.
No, no, no.
No, we're guarding the camp.
You just gotta make sure the workers can do it.
I bet they'd like me to sing to them.
More than likely.
They probably will be goblins.
How much are earplugs again?
There's an easy way to do this. Keep him on one side of the camp while we're on the other.
Okay.
Nice this way. Someday you'll be singing my songs.
No, I guarantee you I won't.
In case you're wondering, Jade is a 3.5 foot tall halfling, wearing a rapier and has now a bow on his back, because he remembered to buy a bow.
No, the tiefling woman that clawed her bonds off is now in full plate armor.
Clank, clank.
Clank, clank,
No
yes.
sneakies for you.
She doesn't care. She
That's-
was just wondering if she needed to tear something's face off.
And I walk behind her, and you can't find me anymore.
Very nice.
And the other one is this weird cleric lady that everyone's like, who are you? Oh, well, I'm Kyra. I'm cleric of Serenray. I don't know how I got here.
Welcome to the club.
I don't appreciate bags over my head.
I got the free drink, so I'm not sure.
I have a conspiracy theory because clerics in 2E, cloister clerics in particular, are weirdly unarmored, which is a big departure to me from any other cleric I've ever played. And I was like, this is Mauricio's fault. Because she was like, now that we're married, I need easier access to my
Definitely
wife.
could be. Don't want
As far
The
as I
armor
know,
goes.
Kyra is a war priest.
She wore priest or
No, she is a cloistered cleric.
Yeah.
Okay, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
She's a cloistered cleric, huh?
Yeah, she doesn't wear armor now that she's married.
Well, she's got a chain shirt.
How did she get a chain shirt on there?
I don't know.
Do they have
But it's
light
on there.
armor? I have so many questions
General fee, armor proficiency light.
now. Oh,
She
that's
does
how-
have it.
That's how she got it. That makes sense.
She snuck out and went to one of the war priests and said, "You got to teach me how to wear armor. This isn't working."
Fine, but only light armor.
So you got to use one of your general feats. Well, she's human. She doesn't. Does she?
Yeah, she is
that's
human.
how she got a general feat to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But it will forever remain trained. Which, oddly for a cleric, doesn't matter much because they only go up to expert.
Yeah, in anything.
Mhm.
Well, they get to master eventually, don't they? In spells.
Cloistereds get up to legendary. War priests go up to master at the same level. War priests spend most of their time in expert spell
Yeah.
proficiency.
Yeah.
Anyway. Alright, so you four are ushered out to a grand caravan of 4 wagons and 20 goblins, quickly piling on everything from all sorts of supplies. Some of it explosive, some of it not.
I'm more worried about there being enough water.
I'm definitely not riding on the wagon that has explosives.
Because it seems hot, doesn't it?
It is hot out here.
You guys have seen
But not
Blazing
terrible.
Saddles, haven't you? Do you remember when they start singing the song when they're out on the road and it's all dead and everything like that?
Mm-hmm.
So Jangling's going to go out there and start encouraging his people to sing.
That's great. Give me a performance check.
It's wonderful. 11, I believe.
11.
Doing great.
Well,
Just get rid of his
I mean, it's
Like, even,
not terrible.
like, some of the goblins are like, yeah, we like this song. Others are like, you fools, we have to leave the city.
run.
But, while Jingling is singing,
Oh,
a-
this is weird. Kyra has performance as well. So,
She accompany me.
no, but
She's
she's
probably going to outdo me.
no, she's gonna try and outdo you. So yeah, she's going to try and strike out. She appreciates your motivation and initiative, but that's just not the right song for this. And she did not do any better. She also got a 10.
alright.
Just for the fun of it, Jay decides he wants to juggle.
Nice. This is going to be
I did horrible, so I can't even juggle 2 bars. I did an 8.
An 8. Thank you, Fred. I'm like, always tell me how bad you do, Fred.
I did an 8. I rolled a 2.
Alright.
Now, that might not be a critical
This
fail.
is not Estrella's normal. She's going to actively try to encourage the goblins with diplomacy.
No.
I have no idea why we're doing this, but okay.
I don't either, but everyone seems to be wanting to get the goblins in a good mood, so Australia is going to kind of go around and give them pats on the back and tell them what a good job they're doing.
Apparently, I didn't have any juggling.
And she's no better than anyone
Oh my
else.
goodness.
So the pats are probably just a little too hard.
Alright.
She might poke him with her claws.
Yeah.
accidentally.
So, the 4 of you, in your disastrous attempts that haven't put off the workers, but haven't really won anyone over, you feel, depending on your height, either a slap on the back or a slap on the back of your knee, as an older goblin in his 20s looks at you two and says, "You longshanks think you can protect us?" And then towards all of you, "You can't say muck. You're weak. Face facts. We're all gonna die.
Someday.
You sit there in the back and talk to the workers. We're all scared. Doesn't matter what we do. We're all going to die.
I mean, you're not wrong on that point.
Tell you the truth, I don't want to go. Dick reads too many books. Lost his mind. Well, I'll think about leaving before he gets us killed. That'll help that the minstrel lost his hand in a teeth-brushing accident. Much blood. Can't play lute anymore." Then he looks at Jingling. "Tell you what. You want to help? You be minstrel. Make fancy music. Not the other stuff. Fancy stuff. Make goblins feel less likely to run away. Convince them we're all not going to die. Because we are going to die. And it's your fault."
What a breath of fresh wind. So yeah, I guess I will inspire courage.
And the caravan takes off. And now you can do your actual checks. 2 inspired workers. I was going to keep it if it if you're random, I'm just going to cheer them up right as they're loading up. But I was like, I was going to keep that if it worked, but I was going to penalize you to have a chance if it didn't. Because you have a whole day with them. So, have fun.
Yeah.
I guess I will continually inspire courage. So everybody take a +1 to any kind of rolls that well.
It's not any kind of rolls.
That's right. It is.
You need
Inspire
inspire
competence.
competence,
Yeah,
which,
that's a couple of levels away, I believe, isn't it?
yeah. I'd look it up, but I don't have internet.
Yeah, I don't know why the internet
Attack damage
decided
and
to crap out on us today.
Yeah, I've been using this for my internet, and it is really slow in here too. So
Oh, well. We'll record it. We'll get it up.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now Estrella will try to raise spirits with diplomacy.
But the recommended checks are acrobatics,
Nope.
athletics,
Okay.
deception, and performance.
Okay.
But diplomacy and other checks that you think are goblin-y and will help goblinkind, I will accept.
Well, go ahead.
that's a 20 this time for performance.
Alright. So you get away from your weird Longshanks music and into proper goblin music.
There we go.
And everybody's jamming along.
Let's go, goblins.
All right. I guess Estrella's going to try and do athletics. Not really sure what.
She's lifting and carrying. And
Basically, you know, your feats of strength. You go, look, see, you won't die because I'm so
because
awesome.
she's strong and she'll push the wagons over ruts and things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's hoping. Oh, that's an impressive feat. So that is a 26.
26. Alright, so, like, they recommend that you're just going for someplace high. Higher than any goblin can go. And, you managed to pull that off. But less in height and more in, like, I imagine at one point, a wagon got stuck and you're just like, boop, and they're like, whoa, that would take like 6 goblins.
All right, so well, let's. At least she has charisma, and it looks like she's trained in it. Yes, that's what those little dots mean.
Mm-hmm.
So she's going to try and perform.
Excellent.
Obviously, it's going to probably be Longshanks music.
Mm-hmm.
It's only an 11.
Let's see. So, yeah, Longshanks music. It's not going over well. But it's not bad.
I'm going to do acrobatics.
Alright.
I got a 16.
Alright. So, like, you gotta understand, Fred. You gotta, like, these aren't Longshanks that you're, like, able to outperform in dexterous maneuvers. They're goblins. They're smaller than you, some of them.
I rolled a 6.
And it was awesome. They loved it. Let's see. 1 per day. Alright. And in the morning of the next day...
Did I miss something about leveling up to 2?
Mm.
You get one. You get to increase one to expert.
No, not at
No,
two.
not at
Unless
two.
you're a rogue.
Oh.
You got two.
Rogues
you
gets
did.
Get one every level,
Mhm.
which is amazing.
Yes.
That's why it's a 10.
Let's see. Let me see where we're at. Alright, we stole the marker just for this. Alright. So, the first day. The first day, you guys are parked at an oasis, and you spent the night revelrizing, acrobating, athleticing, and singing. Let's see. And now I have to go build a quick encounter. So, you guys, those are the 4 wagons. You can be around any one of them.
I mean, which way is the direction to travel?
This way.
And we've had time to get our armor on?
Yes.
It's evening or morning?
Morning.
Hmm.
Any preparations have already happened. That sort of stuff.
Jang will have his bow out. Not really. He'll probably be playing his flute.
Okay.
I mean, I think if she can, she'll have her shield raised, and that's not going to do too much because caravans are slow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, we have a bow out.
Alright.
But yeah, she wouldn't have her sword out right now because it's weary carrying a sword.
It's nobody is doing anything interesting exploration activity.
Oh,
We'll just roll initiative. You guys use perception.
yeah, I should probably have had Kyrie
Great.
searching.
Yeah. Have you described anything that was like that different from just looking around? So
Woohoo! Paladin initiative.
okay. Where your skills at, huh?
Should have perception up near the top.
No, but they're not using perception. That's
Oh.
what they're using. Right. Am I keeping track of initiative?
I already said if I'm playing the pre-gen, not me.
Well, I know.
I can write it down if you want.
Okay.
Is there Azariel?
Who? Estrella?
Estrella. Fred, which guy?
Jade.
Jade. Not Jane. What's Estrella?
She is at a whopping 8.
Blew him out of the water. Kyra?
She Was that a 19?
Ooh, Jay,
12.
I am a 15. You have initiative for bad guys?
Yes, I have 2. So I need
Baddie
bad 1 is 13. And 2 is 26.
26 is first. And then Kyra.
Make sure.
So are there supposed to be 2 1s, a 2, and a 3? Or is it supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4?
The white one is one different. The colored ones are
Got
all
it.
the same. Let's see. Okay, so he doesn't have anything like that. Alright, for anyone speaking Draconic, you hear, "Get him!" As 4 small figures throw off sandy covered blankets.
I do speak Draconic. Incoming!
Remember,
25. Because that's like base speed for almost every humanoid.
let's see. Who's that?
Me.
Okay.
5-footed is 17. It's -2 for Gentleman Crossbow.
You're not flat-footed.
They'd have to have a rogue level or something like that to
They'd have to have the rogue ability.
Oh, now that.
Alright, but
19 then.
plus you're gonna have some cover. So that's just gonna be a regular hit, Fred. As a crossbow bolt beams you for 8 piercing damage.
That hurt.
And then it drops his crossbow. Alright, who's next?
Kyra.
Okay.
And then Jangalang is on deck.
What is the range for days?
I think it's like 60 feet. I think it's described on the back of the sheet.
Probably is. So let's
Got
look.
pretty good range, if I remember.
Okay, days, cantrip, metal, 2.
60 feet.
It doesn't actually have it.
Arcane Blind of Cold, Aberrant Hag, Bloodline, Somatic Verbal, 60 feet, 1 creature.
Yeah, it doesn't have feet on this. But it does say what it does.
Okay.
Mental Jolt deals 4 points of mental damage with the basic will save. So she will. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. She's going to target number 3.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, there it is. 17 is the DC.
Alright. So that winces in pain.
That was 3.
That's 3.
Jangalang will do free action, lingering composition, and then do inspire courage.
Okay.
DC 15 performance check.
16.
Is
2.
it 16?
Because I'm 2.
It goes
Oh,
off
oh,
the
you're right,
highest
that's right,
level
okay.
you're affecting.
So that is failure. I got a 15 altogether. So. how many is that?
So it lasts one
Fail.
round, but
So-
you don't use your focus.
I don't use the focus. Okay.
No.
Yeah.
Alright. So
We've dealt with enough bards. We actually know these rules. If you don't critically fail, you keep your focus.
Okay. Then I'll get out my bow. Two actions left. Yeah, I'll get out the bow and shoot number 3.
Oh, geez, she's so slow.
Oh my goodness sakes, that's the worst. 9, 10, 15.
All right, that misses.
Yep, and I'm done.
Okay.
Next up is Jade. No, Fatty 1. I'm sorry, I meant Jade.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the last.
No, Estrella's actually.
Oh, yeah, Estrella's last.
Second to last.
Estrella rolled terrible. And she's way out of range, so
Sneaky ass kobolds.
I think kobolds are what were rolled when we had our kobolds in this. And so our kobolds were yelling at them, "You're the reason why we're despised."
That's awesome. I think they're probably one of the funnest playable ancestries now. They're really
No. Brian and I have of our kobolds. I at least always try to run my kobold when he's running his.
nice.
Because there's interaction between those two that's funny.
So fun.
Mine's a swashbuckler. He's a Yu-Gi-Oh duelist. So he uses Fane's Foreberry to activate his cards. He's king games. A little bit of Kaiba.
That's awesome.
Mine's a alchemist, an inquisitor alchemist based.
Investigator.
Yes, playing
Investigator.
Old school, huh? That's fun. Do you think that they're going to release an Inquisitor class pretty soon?
I don't know.
Like,
But yeah,
I hope
he's
so.
right, investigator, not inquisitor.
Okay.
Let's see, so this is...
So yeah, mine's an investigator alchemy science.
That's actually really cool.
Alright. So, that one throws a vial it was hiding, and I'm pretty sure at 12 is going to miss. Who... The spear one?
Kyra?
Kyra.
Yeah, 12 will miss.
Alright, so she gets splashed by 1 fire. And then he pulls out a spear.
Move, throw, unsheath?
Drew's got a spear.
Okay. Yeah, the slowest one is the furthest away from them all. And she's like, oh, good God.
I'll get there, guys. Just give me a sec.
Well, she can use her focus point to up her speed by 10 feet for a round. Which is actually pretty
What's your
impressive.
AC, Fred?
19.
Alright, so that will hit as your... It's the same D8. As your wagon also catches on fire.
That's not cool.
Doing really well for the D8s when I'm on this side. Alright, so you take a total of 8 fire damage. And you will take 1 persistent fire.
Okay, Okay, I got 8 more hit points.
You looking pretty hurt over there, buddy?
I'm down 16 hit points. I'm glad I'm using my level 2.
Oh my gosh. No kidding. You'd probably be freaking taking a little bit of a rest right now otherwise. Oh, hell.
Let's see how they do. 15 to hit Kyra.
Nope.
Alright, she Takes 1 fire.
Chain shirt doing the work for her today.
Alright. They're done.
Alright, Fred. Come on, Jay.
How many actions does it take to put out the fire?
Let's see. I'm going to put 1 action. Because it's just an explosive
Okay,
alchemist
I'm going
fire.
to do that.
Okay.
My
Roll.
understanding with that is that you tell the DM what you're going to do, and then he tells you what the DC is.
I feel like I'm going to jump off the wagon and roll around on the ground. So I'm going to say that's probably 2
Yeah.
actions.
Give me acrobatics.
This is going to be
18.
Alright. So you manage to not only flip off the wagon, but you do it in a way that takes all the fire with you, and it seems to be struggling in the sand. So you got 1 more action.
Okay, I'm going to. So I'm probably here now,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to shoot number 2.
Okay.
With a whopping 10.
Alright. Your arrow goes wide, but give me a flat check.
For your burning condition.
19.
Alright.
nice.
You're not on fire. I can't remember order, but
He takes 1 burn damage. Flat check.
okay. So you take 1 more damage from the
He
fire,
does
but
take-
you're done.
The 1 persistent.
Okay.
The flat check then puts it out.
Let's draw it.
She turns and is like, oh, son of a bitch. Pulls her sword out. So that's her first action.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. She gets to there. Top down,
And she's like,
guys, I'll get there.
Let's see. Anyone who speaks Draconic says, "What are you guys doing? Just hit her." Minus 2. 19.
that does hit.
Okay. 3 fire and 1 persistent.
Okay.
Then we go to Kyra, and then it will be Jen.
Okay, so Kyra is going to hit the one she hit last time with Days again.
Okay.
DC 17.
Yep.
No, it's not double damage.
It's a basic save, so
Oh,
and as an aside, the lackeys don't have much, so he's knocked out. 3 is out.
okay. Her second action is to drop prone and start rolling in the sand to try and put the fire out.
Alright.
So she will take her 1 persistent fire and hope that I've reduced the flat check. Oh, doesn't matter. She got a 19.
Cats are very fireproof.
Jingling will do the same thing he did last time. Lingering composition, inspire courage.
So
Okay.
that's a regular success. So I think it lives.
Then pop a smooth off on you, so roll a d10 and add 2 and heal for that. I'm done. And Jade, it's your turn. Oh yeah, jeez, 13 is bad.
The peons. I feel bad for Kyra because now she's lying in the dirt.
Now for those who understand common, they go, no, fits. They got fits. And let's see. So she'd be prone.
Yeah, because I admitted that she dropped to the dirt and was rolling around in it to try and get the fire out.
Goes up. Draws a spear. And says, this is for Fitz. Holy cow.
Did you just crit her?
He might have. Let's see. That's a 22 against your flat-footed.
No.
Okay. You need this.
But it's damn close.
Alright, so 8 damage, piercing.
But she is a hurting unit now.
All these other fun actions to do, I want to make sure. Oh, okay. So. That one runs up. It also has a spear. And Fred probably wishes he was a swashbuckler. So that's a 6 to hit you, Fred.
6 misses.
Alright.
Critically misses.
Critically misses.
That's why you wish you were a swashbuckler.
Oh, so I can.
Repulsed.
Alright, they're done.
Fred.
It's Jade's turn.
I'm just trying to figure out if I can use the wagon to hide in the shadow, and according to this, I can't. It has to be a creature.
Yeah, you could. Like. You could be like. I want to say.
That would work against those two.
Against that one. Like,
If you went right there, you get your flanking off because she still threatens.
She
that
still
guy.
threatens.
like you could hide against that one.
Can I hide against that one?
Yeah, I thought it.
Not that it really matters, right? 'Cause I went to flanking it.
If you go to flanking, it doesn't matter, but
If you
you're
go
drawing a
flanking, you
weapon.
don't have to- Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
You do have to draw a weapon because you've got a bow. Well, no, you don't, because you can use your hand for unarmed. It's just non-lethal at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Drop the bow, draw my rapier, and move over there. But can't I use, since I'm level 2, can't I move while drawing a weapon?
No,
No, that's
drawing
not-
a weapon is always an action.
Unless you have
Quick
the
draw.
Quick draw.
Then you draw and make a strike.
So you could move here.
And that's my 3 actions.
So
That's
you
only 2.
move,
That's only 2.
Draw.
Yeah, so then you got an attack
Strike.
still.
Which, if either of them have an attack of opportunity, one of them gets it because you're drawing a weapon.
Mhm.
And that is
Oh, really?
a manipulate.
So that's an 18 to hit.
Alright, that's a hit.
15 points of damage.
All right.
Is it gone?
Yes. Well, not gone. It's stuck to your rapier. You know, a little shaking and he comes off.
Pierced right on through. Next one is Estrella.
And the leader calls out, "Kits, no!"
Yeah, I know. I'm calculating.
Got a long ways to move, no matter what you do.
Yeah. All right. She's going to engage the leader. Double move to there and taking a swing with her sword. Thanks for that. That's a 14.
That will miss.
Okay, she's done. 15.
That will also miss.
Okay.
Dang it. Then top of the round, baddie.
Okay.
So that kobold.
Where do you want him to go?
No. The white kobold.
The white.
You said baddie too, that's what I was getting at.
Anyone who speaks Draconic hears, "Ritz, get out of here. They're too strong for ya." And let's see. It's there. Pulls out the vial. Pretty sure that's a critical fail. So that is an 11.
It's not a critical fail because my shield is not up.
Okay. So you do take one splash of fire.
She'd had a chance to raise her shield. Yes, that would have critically failed.
Alright. And then he's done.
Kyra is going to stand up. And she is going to use a 2-action heal on herself.
Okay.
Okay, so
D8 plus
D8
8.
plus 8. Because that really hurt.
Mhm.
So she didn't get a whole. Well, she got quite a bit back.
Who's next?
Jangalang
Okay.
is going to use a. Am I 30 feet from?
More than.
You're more than 30 feet.
So I'll have to move up. Actually move me 5 squares towards him. I'm going to use a telekinetic projectile on him.
You don't have to hop down off the ledge here.
Probably.
It's okay. Yeah.
Just leave me about 5 foot from him. Yeah, that's good. Oh my gosh. 11.
11 will miss.
After that is Batty, the last beyond.
The last kobold.
Come on, boss. This way.
Then it's Jake.
If you want to delay, I can at least get to a point where you can get a flank off me.
Okay, I'll go.
Jade, then to 8 is Estrella's turn.
Okay, she will get to here. He can take an attack of opportunity if he has it.
Sure.
Swinging with her sword. 20.
Alright, that hits.
That's going to leave a mark. 12 damage.
Alright.
That's including the bard.
That's what I like to hear.
He's still
You
up.
got one more action, or is that
She's got another action.
finish him? Let's see it.
So this is +3. That's going to miss. That's a 5. If you're, yep, you can take yours if you want.
Inspire 60 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
14 plus 8 is 22.
Well, hit.
8 plus 4 is 12.
Alright.
Plus 1, 13.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot to put the plus 1 with the other one, so.
He slumps down to his knees. Your rapier stabbing you. And you just, and those who understand comic hear a shout. Go, Fritz. Live. Live the dream. And he dies.
Then it would be his turn.
Alright.
Then it goes to Kyra.
He runs away.
Okay.
You have no. The third one was knocked out non-lethally thanks to the daze. But without any aid, he'll just wake up when it's convenient. So you guys have as much time as you want after combat.
And then refocus, and then probably want to do some medicine checks, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
How far down are you? Fred, you the only one that got hit?
I'm still 6 down.
Her medicine's probably better than mine.
Oh, yeah. She's got a 7.
I got a +4.
So it's
Have her do
15.
both of them, and then if
Yeah.
she fails,
She'll start with
back
you.
up.
Well, if she fails, that we're basically immune for an hour. Win, lose, or draw. If we fail, we're done for an hour. So she'll start with you, trying your medicine. Well, that will critically succeed.
Very nice.
What is it, 2d8?
48.
48 plus is the plus
There's
4.
no plus.
There's no plus.
There's +4.
No, medicine doesn't have a plus until you can
Get expert. And try the expert DC of 20.
Mhm.
That's an impressively good one. That's 21 healing.
Back a little above 6.
Then medicine herself.
Do we have any more batteries?
We
Hmm.
should.
There's
Check over there.
I'll get
anchor
it.
rechargeables down there.
So 20 success. It's only 2d8, right?
Yeah.
I think 2.
But she doesn't need a lot. Oh yeah, she's full health. Yeah, the paladin took 1 whole damage. She'll be healed by the end of the day.
I'll refocus.
Mhm,
Spend some time telling jokes to everybody. That's how I refocus. It defocuses everyone else, but yeah. You gonna interrogate him, Paladin? I can help. My diplomacy's a +7, but you probably want to take lead on this.
Yours is higher.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't have a lot of charisma.
Oh, I thought you had a bunch.
Mm-mm.
You gotta dump into strength too.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his only thing is charisma, so I guess I can go over there and talk with this guy.
What about the cleric?
I mean, the cleric is decent, but I'm sure he's still better.
+7.
Yeah, she's only a +5.
Who
She's
wants
no
to be
better
bad
than the
cop or
paladin.
good cop?
Cairo would want to be good cop.
Okay.
My diplomacy is a +6.
So you're better than either of mine.
Oh, wow.
So you could be. Do you want to be good cop or bad cop?
I'll be bad cop.
Okay.
Because I did kill 2 of them.
Okay, that's very. That's
It's very fair.
Okay, so we'll head over there to him, and you want to start out being Wayne, and then I'll
Yeah.
take the carrot out.
Oh, did they have anything on them
oh,
that
wait a
we
minute.
can take?
That's a good point.
Let's see.
But my intimidation's only a +2.
We're not trying. Oh,
There's a total of 6 lesser alchemist fire.
okay.
Or, I'm sorry.
Are those martial?
7.
They count as
They're
martial
martial,
weapons,
yeah.
don't they? I can't throw those things.
There's a crossbow and 19 bolts. Leather armor, short sword.
I mean, I wouldn't say no to the crossbow because she has no ranged weapon. So
Yeah,
she
my bow.
take it for the scenario.
I'll pick up my bow.
So you be good cop with your good. I don't know if I've got an. I got a +4 in intimidation. I'm untrained in it. So she'll be good cop, good cop,
Okay.
good cop, better cop.
What's your languages?
I've got draconic,
I think I just got common. I keep forgetting to go common and halfling.
common, draconic, goblin, and Thessalonian. So I guess I'll go over to him and talking to him in draconic. I'm like, hey, how long have you guys been whaling caravans around here?
You are, what? Oh,
You know, we don't want to kill you, but you know, we
you
just
don't?
need some information.
Oh. Fitz has information, yes.
So Fitz is your boss, is that right?
Fitz.
Oh, you're Fitz. Okay. I'm Jang Lai. I'm nearly famous. Why were you guys attacking us? That wasn't very nice, man.
Boss made deal.
Oh, yeah?
hmm
Yeah, what was the deal?
Well, deal was, we leave area to stronger person, and they help us stop bridge.
Oh, leave. Like what area? Yeah, what's the name of the strong person? You ever meet him?
No.
Yeah, just your boss, madam?
hmm
Yeah. So I kind of give you guys slow down. What else should I ask him about, fellas? And ladies? Friends?
See if he knows what the animals are.
Oh, yeah, so we heard that there's animals out here been attacking people. Is there other things besides you attacking the caravans out here?
Attacking caravan?
Yeah. Workers, supplies, people want to build a bridge.
Not in particular. Lots of cats.
Cats, huh?
Mhm.
I like cats.
Big cats.
Oh, well, maybe I don't like big cats. I mean, I like cats. These little cats. They're cool. They're cuddly. And sometimes they
They
bark.
taste good if you need to.
Well, yeah, sometimes. They're definitely better than dogs, because dogs are horrible. Dogs are the worst. So, where are these these cats?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere. They don't have like a house or a hiding hole or, you know, maybe a place where they like to go lay down after they eat caravan.
Give me a perception check.
Roll with 15 plus 6 is 21.
So you're guessing that the cats that Fitz are talking about are just native to the area. Like, they attack kobolds and caravans altogether. But, like, if you direct questions about what's attacking the camp, he doesn't know, because they don't go that far.
Okay. What do you think, guys? Do we let him go, or do we freaking tie him up and turn him into the authorities?
What authorities? We're going to a work camp.
Well, you know, we can just bring him with and turn him into the authorities back in town, you know?
Well, you could take him to the work camp and make him work off
We
his...
could take it, yeah.
There's a good idea.
That's
You owe
actually a good
debt to
idea.
society, sir.
Bad society.
You owe a debt to the caravan, sir. So we're gonna have you.
You and your kind of being. I don't speak that.
You're gonna work off that debt, and here in 6 months, if you do good work, we're gonna let you go, and you're gonna learn a new skill called bridge building.
Bad bridge.
Why? Why was it bad?
Bridge bring tall people. They always bad.
They're not that bad.
Look at them. Look at them.
They're stretched out a little bit. They're a little bit tall. You know, the thing is...
Short people killed all you people.
Yeah. The thing is, so a friend of mine, of a friend of mine, of a friend of mine that has a cousin in Absalom has a stand there that he makes fried everything, and the people give him gold for following his passion. So, you know, if you follow your passion, these longshanks will freaking let you do whatever you want, and as long as that passion isn't hurting them.
Longshanks pay for me to stab them?
Certain ones, yes. Yes, absolutely. But you just gotta find the ones and you gotta do it on the sly.
Fitz understand now.
So, you're gonna learn this skill. Come with us.
Okay. And
So
I forgot that
slave
one got
labor
away,
called-
so there's a total of
Evil.
5.
It's not slave labor. It's not slave work.
He's gonna
We're
be
teaching
paid.
him. He's learning a new skill.
Yeah, it's called journeymanship,
That's what it is. Apprenticeship. Yeah.
apprenticeship.
It's a total of 5 alchemist fire. I forgot one managed to escape.
Do you guys want to take that? I can't use them. One of you guys. I mean, if I could use them, but I'm gonna be horrible with them.
Considering I will be at a 4 to throw it,
That's probably better than me. They don't use strength, do they?
no, they use dex. That's why I'm not really. I'm taking the crossbow because it's like, I can get a shot off, drop it, and go to my sword and shield.
Can rogues use martial weapons? I don't remember.
No.
So they're not even good to me either.
Yeah, I think basically if you're not a martial class, you have to be a bomber, an alchemist, to be able to use them with beams.
So, I mean, I can't really use them worth a fig anyway because I don't have the dex.
Well, I mean, it'd be the same with the crossbow. It's just that...
I know. That's what I'm saying. The crossbow is more, get your head down and don't shoot at me while I charge you.
Right. I'm just saying, if you're planning to shoot it once and fire, it's basically the same. It's just range. But,
Yeah,
That's for you.
much shorter range.
alright.
We'll set them up and use them as target practice for her to shoot with a crossbow.
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It's a great idea. Just throw fire.
Well, it's sand outside, so it's like...
You you guys brought in more fire, so we're going to improve the goblins' morale just for that.
Heck yeah. I am a sharp-eyed goblin.
Let's see. Alright, so you got.
All I can say, think is you hit it, it explodes. You have another goblin run out there with another one, runs back, we shoot it, and it explodes again. And just keep doing that, and
Horrible idea.
it's out in the sand, so it's not like it'll catch anything else on fire.
As a giant spider wakes up from your antics.
Goblin runs out, gets eaten, explodes.
It's like, huh, that's unexpected.
Yeah.
No, it isn't. It really isn't.
If I understand everything correctly, you guys got one more day to reach the bridge.
So one more day to try and impress the goblins with our prowess.
Excellent singing abilities.
Mm-hmm.
I like
I critically perform a song. Natural 20 for the performance check for the next day. And it's actually good this time.
It's amazing.
She plays Freebird all day long, guys.
Sure it's not Fortunate Son?
That one would work too.
What's the goblin's favorite?
Ah, that's everyone's favorite.
Let's see. Here we go.
Because you know, Fortunate Son? It's for the downtrodden. Especially if you're a Huey door gunner.
Average lifespan, 3 seconds.
Well, I was a tanker. Mine was 8 seconds.
I was
Life
supply.
expectancy, 8 seconds.
I was supply, so I never went.
Infantry, 3 seconds.
I was an Aero Scout pilot. Back in the days. I got out in like 91.
Well, you were out before I went in. I got out in 2020. And with the way things are going, that was the best decision I could have made.
Almost everything that I see for the Army and well, mostly that's all I pay attention to. They frick those guys over so hard anymore. The guys having to get lunch from the DFAC and stuff like that nowadays. It's horrible.
I did forget this. Fitz directs you to their. They do have a cache in exchange for his life
Yes.
that contains a bolus, a Katapesh, and a fighting fan.
Katapesh is actually a really freaking amazing weapon. Is that a permanent award if you get it? It's an uncommon weapon, isn't it?
It's an uncommon weapon,
Gives
so you can purchase
access
it.
to
You can
these.
purchase it.
Mm-hmm.
So this gives, if you find it, that gives you access to it, is my understanding, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I personally love the Katapesh for a fighter weapon because it's got trip on it. It's a sword with trip on it. It's amazing. What was Ebola and what else?
The bolus and the fighting fan.
The fighting fan.
Fan's pretty damn cool, dude.
Fighting fan's awesome, actually.
It's really freaking cool.
You should go.
That
with
would
the
be
fighting
one
fan.
you
It's
should
a
take.
finesse weapon.
Oh.
You probably
It's a
want to
dangerous finesse weapon that's really easy to hide.
Plus, that helps keep you cool.
It makes you look cool.
Cool.
No, the fighting fan is
Because your
one of the
other
best.
weapon's a dagger, right?
Well, apparently I forgot to put a dagger on there. I got a dagger and a short bow. I mean, a rapier and a short bow.
Oh, okay.
It's a fighting fan.
now
Is it
I took the
Deadly?
fighting fan with I think it actually does have deadly or backstab.
yeah,
It might have
it
both.
might have both.
Rapier has deadly too.
But,
Rapier, disarm, and finesse.
So yeah, it's fighting fan, uncommon, agile, backstabber, deadly D6, and finesse.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's probably the best rogue weapon there is.
It's also costs a gold piece, so, you know.
Rapier's same cost. I
Is
think.
it?
Yeah. But the deadly is a D8 for a rapier.
Yeah. It's a good weapon to pair with it.
It's a really good offhand weapon. I think it's better than a lot of people like to use the stupid little defensive knife that I...
Main gouge.
Yes. But, whatever. I mean, it's just... all the chop-socky movies you see where those guys are flipping that hand back and forth and fighting with it.
So they're coming out with I want to say, not European, but the Asian style books here. Are they coming out with a ninja again?
Don't
End of the
know.
year.
We'll find out.
Don't know what they're coming up with.
Is it Tim?
This is the last play test class they did, I
Yeah.
think. So hopefully that'll
Tian
be
Sha
coming soon.
is their next setting, so we're hoping to see some stuff.
Yeah.
The problem
Maybe some sort of class that can use all those advanced weapons they keep making. Someone besides the fighter.
All right. Well, I'll try and do some more athletics to keep the goblin spirits up.
Impressing feats of strength.
It's only a 17.
Alright. They like it.
All right.
I will
Kyra will do her
walk on my
her
hands.
performance.
Mm-hmm.
Some flipbacks.
Hey, she got a 17.
Alright. Kyra learns a goblin song.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, she's not bad.
I will attempt to do some acrobatics to woo and wow.
Well, you're going to woo.
Considering how bad our performance checks started out, guys, this is not nearly as bad. I just cursed us.
28.
Well, maybe not.
I'm sorry, Fred. That's called a stack overflow, so that's a critical failure.
For
But it
that,
can be a stack overflow. He didn't roll a 20.
just for that, I need a drink.
Amazing.
Well, that's a good time for us to go break.
All right.
Alright, welcome back, everyone, to our underground stream away from the internet. So you guys spend a day entertaining the goblins. They love you. And the next morning, you make it to the bridge camp. While many of the goblins at the work camp are covered in dirt and sweat, Zig stands tall and straight among them. He pores over maps of the surrounding area before speaking. It is good to see you. They call me Zig. I'm glad my father asked you to come here to help. We have been building a very important bridge, but every night the big cats attack our camp. We leave out meat for them, and they saunter right past it. Instead, they seem bent on filling their bellies with goblin flesh. If we move camp across the river, they cross it overnight. If we light fires around the camp to scare them away, the goblin workers burn themselves in the flames. It's a lose-lose situation. Every few nights, the cats come back to hunt us. Everyone is terrified, and that's bad for business. With all this talk of some saber-toothed whatever coming for us in the night, we're all too scared to finish our work. If someone doesn't take these furballs out, I suspect the bridge isn't ever going to get built. These kitties ain't natural. Whatever you need, you got it. I can give you workers to build fences, but fences alone aren't going to be enough. Either the cats go, or this bridge is history. The only other answer is death.
acceptable terms.
So, the goblin workers are centered around two groups of tents. There's a hospital off to the western side of the camp. You guys are with Zig in the command post on the eastern side. On the south, east, below the command post is the supply.
When was the last attack?
It has been a couple of days, so we're expecting another one anytime now.
Alright. I know you said walls aren't going to be enough, but let's get walls up anyway. It's a good deterrent. Then, if possible, let's try and get some pits.
That's what I was thinking. Pits with spikes on it.
Let's start with pits.
So what kind of meat have you guys been leaving out? You said that they just walked right past me.
Yeah. We kill local creatures around here that the big cats usually go for. And they're not interested. Only in goblins.
I think they want them live.
To be fair, most animals are scavenger above anything else. Opportunity. Dead meal, I'll take it. Why? Because I don't have to expend the energy to find it and kill it myself.
Yeah, for some reason they're not taking the meat. So maybe
That's weird.
Yeah,
That's the thing. That's weird. That's why we're here.
So, it's been a couple of days since the last attack.
So tonight, tomorrow, it's going to happen soon.
Do we want to go out and look around to see if we can see tracks or anything, fellas?
You can do that.
I'll go with you.
I'm not going to find anything.
I've realized my survival is only a +1, so I'm not trained. This character is not trained in survival.
Kyra will go out because she is untrained, but she is a wisdom-based character.
I'll go with her. I mean, I'm untrained, but my survival. I am trained in survival. Just got a +1 wisdom. I suck, man.
I mean, without being trained, she's at a 4.
Well, his question is, building traps, is that thievery?
That'd be crafting to build them.
Oh,
Yeah.
crafting.
Chang's like, no.
So my crafting is a +5.
So yeah, you should be doing
So, yeah,
traps.
you could get the goblin work crew to help you do the digging. And
Help build traps.
Yeah. And then for
Kyra is going to go out and see what she can find for tracks.
covering him up, would it be
Tracks is survival. Sorry for...
covering the traps up? Would that be a different role?
No, that's just part of the trap.
That's part
Okay.
of the trap.
Just thought I'd
Well, Kyra got a 21 survival.
Okay.
So with the -1 given for Jang, that's a
very helpful.
Stop it. You're stepping on the tracks. Strella's just like, yep, I'm glad I'm not out there.
I imagine Jangling knows that the best way to help find tracks is, of course, to sing to them to make them rise up.
Obviously, it resonates.
And so you hear what might possibly be described as the most annoying goblin song ever. But even with that going on, and these tracks are hard to find, but you do find that a set of prints that looks like they lead to a lair.
All right.
I'm gonna have to get on ChatGPT and
Oh,
I'll start singing them for y'all. It'll be just like Jang was here with you.
yes, we need that. All right. She will probably send Jang back to
Yep.
say, I found something. I think I know where they're probably going.
Well, I found them too, but yeah, Jang will go back and gather the friends and say, "Hey, seems like the Kyra, yeah, she found some stuff. I was helping, she couldn't have found it without me."
Well, Estrella's like, you know, strong offense is better than a strong defense.
Fighting fan is a martial weapon,
I don't know.
isn't it?
It's uncommon, I know that.
Not a fighting horn. I just clicked on the wrong thing in Arcana Methods. Fighting fan. It is a martial weapon. So
Okay.
it wouldn't be very good for the rogue. It'd be very good for a flurry ranger. It would be fun anyway.
It's called a fighting fan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backstabber, you get a +1
Anytime you flank.
anytime you got flanking. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Do we want to finish setting up traps and then go to lair or traps? Set up traps and then go to the lair, maybe?
I mean, in all honesty, Estrella's like, if we can go to the lair, that'll solve this before we ever need to do anything else. That's what she was saying. Strong offense, in this case, is better than a strong defense.
Australia, you're brilliant. Let's go.
And since it's during, they always come at night, right? So they,
Yes.
So maybe if we go now, they're sleeping.
Might. That's another odd thing. There's not a lot of animals that hunt at night, I don't think.
Only one I can think of off the top of my head is owls.
Yeah, most big cats actually do hunt during the
Some cats
morning and evening.
have morning, evening.
Morning and evening mostly. Sometimes during the day, but they'll rest in the middle of the day when it's hot. And then go in the evening or morning. So yeah, Estrella's like, yeah, if they're coming at night, they're not going to expect us. And I'd rather take care of them rather than wait for them.
Yeah, I can't use a fighting fan, so.
Yeah, it's okay. We forgot.
Dang.
Let's see.
I mean, I could, but I would have to expend a.
Spend a feat to get martial weapon proficiency.
And then it never goes beyond trained.
Yeah, that is.
That's one of those things
that
I don't
really
like.
Yeah. I think that if you spend a feat for either the armor proficiency or the weapon proficiency, it should progress at whatever your class progresses, whatever you got.
Yeah.
Well, if we don't do Pathfinder Society and don't do a homebrew, we could do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, no society. If we did homebrew, we could write that in.
Yeah. There's, I've only been playing second edition for maybe 2 years, but I've been playing RPGs. I'm 53. I've been playing RPGs since I was like 12 or 13, and there is a lot more good in this system than bad, and this is the favorite system. My personal favorite system that I've ever played. I love the Shadowrun world and the setting, and 3rd edition was amazing, but the current edition is not something that I like or can support. I do like Pathfinder 2 a lot.
I bought the 6th edition Shadowrun,
Uh-huh.
but I couldn't figure out how to make a character.
Yeah. It was complex back during 3rd edition, and they've done nothing but make it harder to do, and the way that dice pools work now, and it is just... I mean, they've taken something that I really, really enjoyed and turned it into something that is unrecognizable and not very fun.
I was tempted to Humble Bundle. I don't know if they're still offering it, but they had a 5th edition Shadowrun. I was tempted, but I was like, I don't remember who it is, but there's a person on Reddit who, when people talk about Starfinder as being complicated, he's like, you should go Shadowrun. And he runs through this whole list of, this is how you fire a weapon and determine if you hit. And then I'm just like looking at going, oh. Because, like, there's like a 30-step process just to do one attack.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we're
your
like,
skill,
how
your
did
weapon,
that?
this thing, and then you add in your edge pool, and then you gotta, after you roll all those dice, you take dice out for what their armor is and everything like that. And you're only using D6s.
Yeah.
That's all you use. But you roll, I mean, I think everybody here has played Fantasy or 40K or something like that. And you're rolling like this big a handful of dice.
Mhm.
But that was for like on the tabletop and the GW stuff. That's for like a couple of dozen guys. In Shadowrun, this is
This
fistful
is
of dice for you. Doing
Your
one attack.
one attack.
Yes, exactly. And it's just like, oh,
And I'm just like, how did we get to this?
I don't know.
Did nobody look around and go, maybe we're using too many D6s and steps?
I truly love 3rd edition Shadowrun. It's fun. There were times when maybe you'd roll like 5 or 6 dice all together, and they'd explode sometimes, and that's pretty cool.
That was.
It's
I think that's what I played. But the guy that the group I originally ran with, they met this guy and they're like, oh, he's an amazing Shadowrun GM. And so I played once with him, and the guy that was doing our actual DMing most of the time, he's like, the guy sucks. He's like, he sets the DCs for all the player characters way too high. And then he sets the DCs against the player characters way low. And the example he gives is, one of our player characters was a Minotaur. A cyborg Minotaur that was just pure strength based. And like 5 humans handcuffed him and forced him into an elevator, which elevator was his absolute fear. He hated elevators. It was magic. He could not understand an elevator. And it's like, how did 2 humans wrestle an 8-foot Minotaur into an elevator? Well, they did. No, they did not. That Minotaur would be enraged and throwing people.
There are certain guys that run games that for them it becomes they have to win.
Well, that's
There's
what this
certain
guy
players
was.
That there are too, but I found that if you can find the players and the GM playing together, they're like, let's just have fun with this, guys. Let's just have fun. As the game master, you're like, I'm going to challenge you. This is not going to be easy, but I want you to win. We're going to tell fun, cool stories together. And you don't make it easy on them. And then as a player, you're not freaking trying to power game everything. It's a two-way street. There's give and take on both sides of the table.
There is.
But it's hard to find the group to do that with.
It
sometimes.
is.
The hardest thing I had to learn as a GM that I thought I knew when I started was that, like, I'm not taking the players through the story I imagined, and like, they just follow along the story that I'm thinking of. Like, I was always completely unprepared for my players' decisions, and it was like, that's because I wrote a novel, and they're not following the script. I'm like, get back on track.
No, and that's that. You know, the Pathfinder, the adventure paths feel very railroady, and that's in a way that's very good because you know what the next step is, and it tells a great, good, coherent story. But you are on rails, and you're not the type of that can improvise very well or come up with a story. So for me, those kind of Pathfinder, that stuff is good. But for somebody that can come up with, on the fly kind of stuff or be able to come up with your own story. I'm playing in a 5e campaign that we've been playing in for 2 years, and this guy is telling an amazing story. And it's a blast. And he wrote his own world, did all of his own stuff. And it's amazing, and I'm jealous of it because I can't do that, man.
I don't know.
always
What are you
admire
guys
it.
thinking of the Torg stuff?
Like, I'm having a lot of fun with Torg, in our Torg game, with you running it. I have, the only thing for me is that I wish I could get over my fear of Torg, because I'm like, I love horror. When we played 6 games with Jeremiah, that was magical. I loved it.
That was good.
And so I'm like, I should want to do that again. But apparently I'm like, nah. I'm like, my guy feels bad that we just let a murderer go. But was also like, well, what can I do? They don't stand up and fight because he's a Nile pulp hero. He's like, the villains don't just skulk around. They parade themselves and laugh.
I've never played Torg.
It's really fun.
It's an interesting concept.
When the very first version of it dropped, I had like the starter box. Remember everything?
I
used to
have
come
it.
in a box.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think I had that when I was a kid, and
Yeah.
I read through it. So I never found anybody else to play with it. It's all first edition D&D back then. We played some Boot Hill and Star Frontiers, but it was mostly first edition D&D.
See, when I played,
First
it
and
was
second
second edition. It was second edition Dungeons and Dragons. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Yep.
And the thing that got me with that is elves couldn't be fighters.
Yeah, it's really, they were classes, at one time. The races, or ancestors, whatever you want to say. I don't have a
That was
problem with
literally
race or
basic.
Yeah,
D&D.
and it was so.
I'm a
And
dwarf.
the red
What's your
box.
class? No. I'm a dwarf.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I remember.
I still have my rules cyclopedia for that.
I
great book.
actually ended up picking, so I got rid of all my stuff years ago and everything like that, and I started getting nostalgic for it, and I picked up a Dungeon Master's Guide that I saw sitting in a used bookstore for like $15. First printing of it, it's all light, scabbed out, the edges are all gross and everything like that. And I get in there, and you flip it open. It's got the old matrices. Remember, you used to have the armor class and the dice roll going across, and I'm like, I honestly don't miss that.
No.
It's cool. It's neat and everything like that for nostalgia's sake. And there's a lot of really cool, fun, nostalgic stuff in there. But systems have improved leaps and bounds. Sometimes they step back. But they honestly,
To me,
this
that's what
Pathfinder 2 is
5th
great.
edition was a step back. And it was too much of a step
I've got
back.
a huge problem with 5th edition. Very accessible.
Yeah, I agree. Accessible,
No,
easy to play.
Absolutely no character development, if you know what I mean.
Yep, that's one of my biggest problems.
And
I'm level 20.
Yeah.
I will take my 8th level barbarian from Pathfinder 1E and I will stomp a mud hole in your
And
characters.
the thing is that if
But-
you're a level 20 artillerist, artificer, and somebody else is a level 20 artillerist, artificer. They're the same damn thing. Both of them. Even though they've gotten to level 20 by two completely different paths. There are no options in that game.
That's one of the reasons why I think a lot of people are going to second edition, because there's, I mean, I had somebody try to convert a 5th edition character to 5th edition level 5 character and they tried to convert it over to 2nd edition Pathfinder, but they only went up to level 4. And I'm like, well, you shouldn't be level to level, but no, it's like level 4, you're the same power as a level 5 5th edition character, but it goes, Pathfinder goes leaps and bounds more than that after a while.
When the OGL fiasco.
Wow, we are
was
way
here.
off
Yeah.
topic.
Sorry, guys.
But it's okay.
When the OGL
You're
fiasco
basically on the final fight is all.
was going
I was
really
making
hard,
sure, but yeah.
and
So-
heavy. So one of the discords I'm in is for a guy called the Rules Lawyer.
Okay, yeah, I've seen
I
him.
really like Ron a lot. He's really good. He started getting a lot of people that were 5th edition content creators, and he's running Pathfinder games for them. And I can't remember the one guy, but his YouTube channel is always taking a 5e character and building them up and everything like that. He gives you the reason why he does everything. He started doing that with Pathfinder 2nd edition.
Yeah, I've seen that guy.
D4.
Yes, it's Deadly or DD something.
Deadly D4 or
Yeah,
something
I
like that.
really
Something
like
like
him a lot.
that.
His content is really high quality. And I was watching him do like the 2nd or 3rd character that he's built. And he's like, okay, guys, I'm only going to take you. I know usually I take you to here in 5e, but with Pathfinder, I'm only going to take you to here because it'll take longer because there are so many more choices along the way. And I'm going to give you the reasons and all the rest of that stuff. So seeing Ronald play with 5e content creators and all of these, not all of them, 2/3 of them probably are like, this is great. This is amazing. So it's been
Yeah.
One iconic guy, Treant Monk.
Trant, yeah.
Like, apparently, I didn't watch a playthrough, I only heard about it, but apparently, he was like, yeah, the saves when I'm a caster are just ridiculous. And the reason is that for 3 sessions in a row, every enemy that his character electric arced critically passed.
Yeah.
He did no damage for 3 sessions. And it's like, I can complain about some things about casters, but I'm like, I'm sorry, that is...
Dice, man. Sometimes they hold you. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I mean, I have 3 different champions in this game, and they're all different.
Yeah.
I
They're
imagine-
all completely different. Even though 2 of them are redeemers, they're not the same character.
If you guys do start using the free archetype rules, which I am a huge fan of, they do slightly power up player characters. But I don't think it's overwhelming. I think that you would be astounded by how well you can tune the character that you want with what you have in your mind.
Like, my feeling for free archetype is that I like it more as we're all the same theme. So, like, if we're all Pathfinder agents, I'm like, society really should have thought about free archetyping us into the Pathfinder agent archetype.
That's a good point.
Like, that would have been, like, on the other hand, there's already a ton of things just making a character, choosing your school, your faction, and everything. But I'm like, it would make a lot of sense if we as Pathfinder Society characters were Pathfinder agents with archetypes as well, without having to compromise. And so I like it that way. generally why I see a lot of people like it, though, is because, oh, I can have these super strong class feats that I can't possibly live without. And these other strong options from archetypes. And I'm like, and that feels like cheating to me. Because I'm like,
You're not wrong.
we've stopped. Oh no, you're getting more options. I'm like, no, you're just plainly more powerful now because you didn't have to compromise anything.
You're
And
not wrong.
I'm like, I'm of the opinion that you need exactly 0 of your class feats. Like, Fred would be fine, or any of our characters could just take nothing but archetype stuff, and they'll be functional. They just won't have some of the iconic moves that people always pick for the class.
And that's a good point. I mean, if you're not playing with free archetype, the archetype choice instead of a class feat really changes up the character too.
Because
It really does.
when it was new, a lot of people were like, archetypes, they don't look that good compared to my class feats. And then when the Game Mastery Guide came out with free archetype, then there was like, whoa, you can do this and it won't affect anything. Which I also find funny, because when it comes to Magic, I'm like that lets a champion get a casting dedication, and at end game, like, a champion can pull out a Scroll of Gate, a 10th level spell, go, yeah, look, you are late for an appointment, and shove an enemy through the gate portal to heaven, close it, and be like, okay, encounter done, see ya, everyone. And that's not overpowering, but, you know, the caster who's been waiting to get their 10th level spells is like, but I want to kick someone through a portal, and they're like, no, you're okay.
You're not wrong. I think I told you guys that Mike banished Zim. I can't even remember what it's called.
Yeah.
But he's a gunfighter.
He told us about that. It was like, that was supposed to be the fight of the evening, and then it was just gone.
Yeah. I rolled a freaking 1 on the save for the creature, so it's like, I could cheat and lie to these guys, but at the same time, this is a story, if I let it stand,
Yeah.
it's just like, fucking gunfighter, and we'll talk about it for a while.
We all have our stories like that.
Yeah, buddy.
Because, I mean, Mike told us about how he was running one scenario, and there were 3 basilisks in it, and the 2 wizards both hit the basilisk with fireball, and the basilisk critically succeeded at every single save. Took no damage. And the wizards are like, we just got fireball.
Yeah.
We are so excited to finally cast fireball. And the basilisks are like, anything else?
Lame.
Yeah.
You're like wizard number 7 that tried that on us.
Yeah. I'll come stone you in a minute. Give me a chance.
I don't like The Last Jedi, but all I can imagine is the basilisks as Luke. And they're just like, fireballs, more. He's like, and they're just brushing themselves off.
Oh, we really ought to get onto the game.
Dice are the worst, is all I'll say.
Yeah, dice can be the worst.
So, your characters have this in-depth meta discussion about the very nature of their world as you make it to the lion's
And we're
lair.
traveling to the lions.
Oh, yeah. I know you were saying Mike has an obnoxious ability to be very lucky with dice, but it doesn't seem to happen in Torgal that often.
For reals?
For reals.
That's awesome.
He gets some amazing shots once in a while,
Uh,
but a lot of the times, if he's not like using one of his special bullets on his character, he's like, "That's an 8. That's nowhere near what you need."
that's awesome, man.
I don't know.
I swear I've got some caves somewhere.
It's okay. It's roughly what I needed, a separation. And, I like it.
Speaking of Fireball,
I don't have it.
And the other thing,
I never will.
Yeah, I never will either. I'm like, I've got a sword. I'll hit you real hard.
I've got this bitchin' guitar.
I can swap to going two-handed and hit you even harder.
okay, so, for this encounter,
No, I could have brought my fighter who is going wizard dedication.
That's interesting.
It's probably one of the most dangerous class combinations in the game. What are you? I'm a fighter. What do you do? What do you do? Well, I cast fireballs. What?
And then there's so many really cool touch spells that you don't have to worry about being in melee when you're a wizard using those cool. I tell you what, guys, the coolest spell in the game is a cantrip called Gouging Claw.
Oh, gee, I don't.
It freaking
I haven't seen that one.
and it's horrible. It freaking the critical damage that it does is just amazing.
Gee, I'll have to look at that one.
It's really fun. It's on the primal list.
it goes to show.
Oh,
just
wizard
what
is
I
arcane.
think.
Yeah, you'd have to do something weird to take it.
Yeah, he's
It's
not
worth it
doing-
Yeah.
I mean, the whole general concept of him is he's a dragon slayer, so he uses his wizard spells to help counter dragons.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because when you said, the strongest spell in the game, I thought, for a fighter, oh, you mean True Strike.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue that.
What do you cast? True Strike. God damn it.
Because the other thing is, once I understood that you can heighten any spell, you could just fill all your slots with True Strike.
All of
And be like, this is all I do. I hit things accurately.
it. Yeah.
Unless I roll 2 ones.
Consistent damage from a fighter is a good thing.
But then I miss in the best way possible. Better than any of you ever could.
And by the way, there is no arcane failure for wearing plate armor.
That's another thing I love.
Yeah, it's like,
Absolutely.
are you a
Those-
wizard? No, I'm a fighter. How did you cast Fireball? Well, see, I learned how to cast spells as a wizard. But you're a fighter. Yep.
Mhm.
Isn't that plate armor? No, plate armor is actually easy to move in.
I freaking love no more arcane failure.
Yeah. Okay, I'm guessing we're in initiative at some point.
Anyway, more meta discussion as Kyra finds tracks for you guys. You guys are led to a cave. And you see on a sort of dais with a bunch of vaguely magical equipment. Upon it, you see resting what appear to be 2 big cats, and you think a lion. And the lion shouts out, "Behold, intruders!
Chows?
Yes, you
And we
are
understand
in.
that. That's the terrifying thing.
I know.
You are in the lair of Kef, the mighty. State your intentions."
To kill you?
We want you to stop hurting our friends over there. I'll point out towards the goblins.
I bring you catnip.
Ah! Excellent bribe, sir.
I just want to make sure. Catnip.
Please make it work. Please make it work. Please make it work.
I was so hopeful when the search came up with the result, but it was the cantrip trait, not the catnip trait. I had to make sure we do have catfolk, so
Yeah.
they can have intoxicants around here. All right.
I just thought it was funny.
It is funny.
Kef growls at you for wanting to kill him. And to you, he says, the attacks will never stop until my project is done.
Wait a minute here. Let's talk for just a second. What's your project? Tell me about this.
Can
Well,
we move forward?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Jake's behind his back. He's like,
So basically, you guys can get up to that chasm dividing you.
Here?
Yeah. Oh, sure. If you want to talk, most people just want to fight and die.
no. I am very interested in what you're trying to do here, sir.
Well,
Kyra, so you're closer.
it all began years ago.
Okay, let's kill him.
Yeah, I
When-
think at this point,
When I was a poor black child.
Yeah.
oh, we're gonna get distracted.
No. That's a reference to the movie The Jerk, guys. That is straight out of a classic movie.
But
I
know.
was captured and awakened by some bored wizard one day. And I tried, after he was done, because he was like, oh, I can awaken animals. And I'm like, so what are you going to do with me? And he's like, nothing, you're done. And I'm like, okay, so I try and go back. But when you know things, suddenly your sister doesn't look as attractive as she did before. And the other lions are like, why are you being so weird? And I'm like, because I know that we aren't supposed to live like this. And, you get cast out, so I have been trying to replicate the ritual to awaken these leopards so I have someone to talk to.
Well,
have you tried talking to the goblins?
Of
I
course
was
not.
just going to say that.
What goblin knows how to awaken a leopard?
Here's the thing. They do need
You'd be
people to
surprised.
guard 'em. They need somebody to help them guard while they build the bridge. So what you do is you go over there and talk with them and say, hey, do you need a guard? And they say, yeah. And then you say, okay, I need this.
And they've been trying to bribe you with the meat.
Well, yeah, we know about the meat, but look, I've got a contact in random city. Where are you? Where's that map? I've got a contact in Solku who's been giving me the magical supplies I need, but he wants to stop the bridge. So I'm working for him. I'm working for myself. I hired some kobolds. What? Anyway, it's a whole chain of events that have led to, no, I can't just talk to the goblins because I haven't made the deal with the goblins. They have zero magical supplies, by the way. They keep blowing anything magical up.
Sounds like what you really need is hands.
What you really need is access to the Pathfinders.
Pathfinders.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, that's us.
Well, what's a Pathfinder?
Oh, they got hands, first of all.
Right.
So-
Quit flaunting the hands, okay?
Well, here's kind of the thing. They send us out, and we have various tasks. Sometimes it's like what we're supposed to do here of dealing with someone else's problems.
Right.
They like to send us on those kind of missions.
Yes.
Right.
But other things is go recover an incredibly powerful magical artifact.
Uh-huh.
And we actually have a lot of powerful magical artifacts. And there's this kind of crazy lady in charge of them.
Uh-huh.
She'd probably be really interested in you. I mean, like,
Interested how?
I'm not entirely sure on that. I just know she's interested in things like you.
There's an avenue here.
I mean, she would definitely want to know how you came about. Unquestioningly want to know that. So she would definitely help you in that regard.
There's an avenue here where we help you out, and you don't have to worry about hurting anybody. And, we probably wouldn't have to hurt you or your two friends.
Yeah, okay. Give me a diplomacy check.
13.
15.
I'm going to spend my hero point.
Sure.
Oh,
Come
there
here.
we go. 20. Roll 13 plus 7.
Alright. So, Kef was like, alright, gonna take a chance on this Pathfinder society of yours. Alright, the attacks will stop. I'll send a leopard out to the kobolds.
Yeah, you don't need to worry about the kobolds.
I think they ran into a buzzsaw.
Yeah.
Her name's a straw.
No, it isn't. It's Jade.
Jade, sorry.
Well, sorry. No, I'm not really that sorry about it.
They ran into some jade, okay.
They ran into my sword.
Oh,
Face first.
Face first. Multiple times.
I see. They were working out so well before.
Like I
Alright.
said, they got Pathfinders involved, and we're really good at violence sometimes.
Yeah, that's,
We also have a kobold in the goblin camp, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We kept one alive.
So, we can do this one thing and really hurt some stuff, and then we're nice. We're trying to be nice.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that sounds better.
You've got to understand, a lot of the things we come to solve feel like violence is the only way. Because there was this hag we had to deal with. She was convinced violence was the only way, so I took her head.
Oh.
So she was headless.
And not very alive afterwards.
I'm loath to admit, even though I have understood much magical stuff, I have, as you keep bringing up, run into a problem with lacking hands.
I'm telling you.
So, yeah. Alright. So what? I come with you.
Well, I think first off, we want you to just stop attacking that, and then maybe we send some kind of a message back to our
Yeah, we have to
lodge.
send a message back to our leaders. We'll stick around
Yeah, okay.
until they get the message and send the correct people,
Perfect.
because we're not the correct people.
We're what they call troubleshooters.
I see.
Yeah.
Trouble stoppers.
Alright. Well, if a deal can't be reached, the attacks shall resume, and we shall fight to the death.
Totally understandable.
I get that.
But for now, guys hungry?
What do you got?
Mostly goblin.
No.
No, I don't. Maybe in a really extreme situation, I could eat my fellow goblins, but no, thanks, man.
Alright. Yeah, we'll get something other than goblin tonight, I think.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, that would be great. That would be amazing.
Alright. So, the camp is safe. Lengthy negotiations are engaged in, and hopefully in a future scenario we'll see Venture Captain Kef the Lion.
That would be amazing. You want to know how long it's been since I've solved anything using diplomacy?
This is a first.
Amazing.
This is like the first or second time it's ever happened in like the 4 years I've been playing Pathfinder.
Uh-huh.
I did go off rails, but I was like, two of the villains are just like, no, we hate everything that lives and crawls and everything. But Kef is just like, look, man, I just want some girls to talk to.
When you said he couldn't look at his sister anymore the same way, I'm like, yeah. Because that shit happens in the animal world, and it's disgusting.
Yes, it
And
does.
when you don't know, it's fine. But when the wizard awakens you, you're like, ah, no.
you look at European nobility and how freaking interbred
Oh
it is.
my
It's just like,
God.
whoa, guys, you need to stop that cousin love and stuff, man.
Go find a peasant girl.
Please. There's some new blood in there, man. You won't have that freaking hemophilia stuck in you so bad.
And so I kind of left it up to you guys, how you approached him, because I was like, but you wanted to talk to a talking lion,
That
so
was fun.
he was going to talk
I was going
back.
to call him Scar, but I wanted to just kind of keep it low key and not be a meanie bug.
I mean, I was just excited that it's like, oh, good. I don't have to deal with 20 feet of movement in armor.
Oh my gosh.
Where it's like, yes, I'm the tank. Quit running in front of me. Stop that.
Are you going to take Fleet with her when you can get
Probably.
I mean, you almost have to, it feels like, doesn't it?
I mean,
know
I
what,
need
it's-
2 things. There's 2 feats I have to take with her. Rapid Mantle is the next one I have to take before anything else. Fleet can come after that.
Fleet is a very good agility feat, in my opinion.
Fleet is a great one.
It's
But if you're going to do the character like this that I'm doing, you have to take Rapid Mantle.
is that
It allows you to replace your reflex save with your athletics
for whenever
for
you fall?
when you fall
Yeah,
off
okay.
of things.
Okay.
It also lets you get up
Yeah,
for
for free.
free.
Like stand up from the ground?
No.
To pull
So
yourself
she
up.
Oh.
catches with her acrobatics, and it's just a free action for her to pull herself back on.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's
And it uses her athletics instead of her reflex.
But
Does it still provoke if you do that?
Yeah, it still
Yeah.
provokes.
Almost anything that provokes still provokes, no matter
Yeah.
what, if you know what I mean. I mean, unless you're taking a guard step.
I took mobility.
That's a really good feat, too.
Mhm.
That's a very good feat.
So
I hope you guys enjoyed. We can talk later, continue talking, but we'll end the stream here, I think.
Yeah.
Successful adventure. Kev the Pathfinder, hopefully, will make it into society, even though most of you killed him. I know you.
It's true.
Too many GMs not being too afraid to go off the rails, but not die. Anyway, have a good day, everyone.